Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. So, I've got too much that I want to say, so I apologise if it comes across as a bit jumbled. So, first of all, following on from the last Pursuit of Truth, when I talked about Huggy Wuggy from Poppy Playtime, that Aiden has his toy, and I had a further thought about it when I was thinking later on when I was putting Aiden to bed. I think it was after that I was thinking about, because before I was thinking about that, like if I was dying in the bed and he'd brought Huggy to me to say goodbye, and I was trying to wonder why that meant something. But I think it's also because I mentioned about childlike. I think it's also the fact that it's a childlike thing to put a voice to an inanimate object, and the sweetness of that, and the fact that it's not real. Maybe that's the point. But then I was thinking, it came to me into my head when we put him to sleep, is that, and I hate these thoughts, these things. This is what I mean. They used to be good because this used to be how I would write poems, or, when I used to write the stories, the radio dramas, make when a sister on my own. It was this mind that would be thinking of these things, and it also, it infuriates me when, obviously, when I have a EHCP review or any kind of meeting or whatever, when I practice in my head all the conversations, all the different outcomes, to prepare myself. I always thought that was, me just, being diligent. But when I see other people with autism, I see that it's actually a trait of that. And it's helpful in some ways, because at least it makes you very prepared, because you prepare for everything, but then of course you over prepare. And anyway, so yeah, I thought that when I was putting to bed, if it sort of flipped the story, and it was that I was putting him to bed, into a grave, as if he had died, and thinking about if I put, and thinking to myself, how could I ever put him in a box in the ground, even though I've just witnessed my mother's body in a box going in the ground, but thinking it seems so impossible to think how I'd ever do that to my own child. Did I see something just go up there? Did you see that? Was that Mum? If it was, I love you. And then I was thinking about putting Huggy Wuggy. Would I put Huggy Wuggy next to him? And I'm thinking, like, well, no, I don't want to put Huggy Wuggy in there, because obviously I know that the body's just going to disintegrate. But it's funny how I'm thinking about, well, I didn't want to put Aiden in the box either, but what would I do with him? It's just, but then it just made me so sad. And then when I went to the bathroom, I just cried, thinking, no, I think it was in the morning that I thought about it yesterday. In the bath, it came to my head again, and I thought about it, and I just cried there, because I just thought about the idea of, I think I was thinking like the conversation of Huggy dying so that he could go in the coffin with Aiden, making it up, like, to give him a resolution or end, like he would say to me, oh, Daddy, I think I'm going to pass now as well. Or I'll be with Aiden, I'll look after him for you. Bye, Daddy. Well, I'm feeling it now. It's so stupid, isn't it? But that's what I was thinking in the bath, and it made me cry out loud, because I thought about, but it's not even him saying it, it's me saying it, isn't it? But I'm masking it or whatever, I'm transferring it, and it's just that sweetness, I guess, and the fact that it's not real, he's not really going to be able to do it. It's just a toy that's going to be next to a dead body. But just thinking about, because Aiden tends to take, at the moment, Huggy to bed with him, although when he wants to sleep, he'll take him out, or me, out of the bed. But when he's initially sleeping, he's with him, and sometimes he does stay in the bed with him, and I'm just thinking about him being next to him, as if it's some kind of kindness, but he doesn't even know, because he wouldn't be animate, he wouldn't even have conscious to know that Huggy's there. So it's such a strange thing that humans do, and that's maybe what confuses me in that sense of thinking about of that. And it just made me sad to think about that idea. But then I'm thinking that there's lots of parents that I know do that. I think when I mentioned on Pursuit of Truth about Annabella, I think they may have put a toy with her, and just the sadness of that, and that all the parents that have to go through that, and the worry that it gives me. Yeah, And this comes on to the next thing, because this morning I had a dream of an uncle from a previous marriage, and the one I worked with at Entertainment UK, as if I met him at Entertainment UK, and he came from sort 1 to sort 3, and he had a car accident. He had this gash down here and a red thing inside, and he was greeting me with Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and the end bit he repeated wa barakatuh. I hope I got that right. Sometimes I remember it, sometimes I don't. And I think that means blessings and to you, isn't it? And it's just how, he was saying that he had a car accident. His friend got £300, which I thought was very like him to say something like that. It felt very like him. And then he then became like faint. When I was embracing him with Islam, I was crying in it, and then he then came faint as if he was going to collapse. And then I woke up. So that was a bad dream. And then Aidan woke up crying unusually. I know haven't been taking him to school because I'm working early, so I can't. So Michelle's been doing it, but he's been fine the first 2 days. This day he just woke up crying. I know he's done this before, but it made me worry then, and he was crying, and he's made this thank you card for me at school that he says he's going to bring today, and I made him one to make him feel happy, though when I gave it to him he burst into tears. And he's done this before when you do something sweet. I think it's when he's emotional, and I think he gets that from me because I have that empathetic nature, but he just burst into tears, and that made me think about how if I died, how I would do that to him, and I can't do that. And then he went to school, and then in the car, Alina did something she never does, that she hasn't done, is she asked them, can you phone Daddy? And like she phoned me. She didn't say anything, but she never does that. It's like, and then it made me think, oh, am I going to die or something because of this dream? And then also last week I found this lump here, this lump that moves around. You probably can't even see it, can you? You just see it there, this lump. And I went to the doctor, and he said, no, is it lymphoma, the fatty tissue? And he said, did you want a CT scan? I said, yes, just to make sure. And then I was watching this drama, this documentary on Netflix, I think it's from 2021, that was just come now, about these two people. Was it Brendan or Brent and Surinder, who are doing alternative treatments of cancer, and got to the point where he's just passed. And she believes she's been cured by apple juice, carrot juice, rather than surgery. I can expect what's going to come, but that was making me worry about, because he had been misdiagnosed. They didn't pick up his cancer, and that's why people often, go to these alternatives, because the actual way sometimes, like it failed him because they didn't pick it up. They told him that, no, you're perfectly fine, because was he bleeding or something, and so it was fine, and he was healthy, and then turned out that they didn't notice cancer elsewhere, and he was stage 4. And then it was just making me think about this, and then thinking about Aidan crying and dying, and and what if they got it wrong and I'm actually have cancer and I'm dying. And even that time when I had that, before that thing, I was worried that, oh my God, if I've got cancer, once you get this thing, it's like, then it becomes real, and then there's nothing you can do about it. You like trying to put it back into a box, you can't, because you're already at that stage. And I'm lucky they told me it wasn't. I hope they're right. But and this is what led me into this today, is that the thought that there's lots of people who won't get that, who will be told that they have cancer today, or the people that I'm thinking that, when I was thinking, am I going to die? And then I was worried that if I die and the kids come home and then I'm dead, and I'm hoping that's not going to happen to me, but it will have happened to someone, or lots of someones somewhere, and children will come home to their dead parents. And just that realization that, just because it doesn't happen to you, but it happens to someone else. And that just seems so cruel and unfair with life, that, I'm feeling that I can't feel happy because it's happened to someone else. Anyway, that's what I wanted to waffle on about. I don't know what your feelings of that. Take care, easy, good rest, and peace. Yeah, so I just wanted to tack this on the end of that last one. The bits I forgot that I felt that I wanted to mention. is that when I woke up from the dream with the uncle, I then did like I always do when I have these bad thoughts, or when I'm worried, I'll do Surah Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Amen. I hope that pronunciation in Arabic is somewhere clear. So I always do that. So I did that for him and the family. Hoping he's okay. And then when obviously I had the thought about Aiden, I did the same thing. Every time I have these thoughts, that's what I do. And usually I blow either way. I think it's from Hadith. So yeah, and what else did I want to add? Just, I'm going to talk about the documentary I saw on Netflix and another one when I finished it. And I still got about I think I'm going to do one on Gaza. There's some bits on Sky News and the hospital attack documentary. But yeah, I wonder if that's the reason why I keep thinking of all these death things now, all these children dying in Gaza, and also obviously, like I mentioned before, since my mum's passed, I mean, I've always written about death and things. There's a few poems I still need to write. Maybe I'll put them on soon on YouTube. So I just wanted to add that to the end. Take it easy. God bless and peace.